For years, we've all been taught how to study. But what if I told you that the methods that feel the most productive are actually the least effective? Today, we're going to unpack the science of learning and trade in those old habits for strategies that actually make information stick.
I mean, come on. We've all been there, right? You get to the bottom of a page, you look up, and you realize you've created this masterpiece of neon art, but you can't remember a single thing you just read. It's such a universal feeling, and it's the perfect place for us to start.
So let's kick things off with our most trusted, or maybe mistrusted, study tool. We're calling this section the highlighter illusion, and for good reason. It perfectly shows how our brains can trick us into feeling super productive, even when we're not really learning at all. Now, to be clear, we're not here to blame the highlighter. It's a great tool. The real problem is the passive, almost mindless autopilot mode we slip into when we use it. Your hand is moving, the color's spreading across the page, but your brain, it's checked out. And this right here is the heart of the illusion, that really satisfying feeling you get from looking at a brightly colored page. It's a trick. Your brain is mistaking the physical act of coloring for the mental work of learning. You haven't become a learner, you've just become a very, very colorful transcriber. So why does our brain fall for this trap so easily? Well, to understand that, we need to peel back the layers on how memory actually works. The answer is in this crucial idea from cognitive science, the difference between shallow and deep learning. Okay, let's hop back to 1972. Two psychologists, Craik and Lockhart, came up with this really revolutionary idea called the levels of processing model. Their theory was simple, but honestly, it was profound. Memory isn't about how many times you repeat something. It's about the quality and the depth of your thinking. Deeper thinking just creates stronger, stickier memories. So this model breaks it all down into 3 levels. At the shallowest level, you're just looking at the structure of a word. Is it in all caps? Then, a little deeper, you might think about how the word sounds, what it rhymes with. But the real magic, that happens at the deepest, semantic level. This is where you actually engage with the word's meaning. And that's what forges a memory that actually lasts. It's a fantastic theory, right? But the real question is, does it actually hold up in the real world? Let's take a look at the evidence. And the proof is, well, it's pretty undeniable. In this landmark study from 1975, people were asked different kinds of questions about a list of words. When the questions were shallow, just about how the words looked or sounded, they barely remembered anything. But when the questions forced them to think about a word's meaning, that deep semantic processing we were just talking about, their recall absolutely skyrocketed. The takeaway here is crystal clear. Meaning is the secret ingredient for memory. Okay, so we get it, we need to process information deeply, but how? How do we actually do that? It all comes down to making a really fundamental shift in your mindset. We need to stop being passive transcribers and start becoming active translators. Think about it this way. A transcriber's job is just to copy information perfectly from one place to another. But a translator has to deeply understand an idea and then re-express it in a brand new language, their own. That second process, that act of translation, is where true learning ignites. So here's a super simple 4-step method you can use right now. Step 1, just read. Read a paragraph or a section. No pens, no highlighters, nothing. Just absorb it. Step 2, pause. Look away from the page and ask yourself, what was the single biggest idea here? Step 3, write it down. In your own words, just a 1 or 2 sentence summary. And now for the final step, step 4, now you can grab your highlighter. But here's the twist. You're not highlighting the book. You're highlighting the summary you just created. See what you did there? You just shifted from transcribing to translating. That little method is so powerful, but it's really just one tool. Let's expand our active learning toolkit with a few more proven strategies. Honestly, if there is one single strategy you take away from this whole thing, please let it be this one. It's called retrieval practice, or sometimes the testing effect. It's the simple act of pulling information out of your brain instead of just trying to cram more information in. It is an absolute game changer. And what's so fascinating is that this isn't some newfangled discovery. Thinkers have known about this for centuries. Francis Bacon was writing about it way back in 1620. The great psychologist William James was talking it up in 1890. Modern science just finally gave us the framework to prove why this ancient wisdom works so well. I absolutely love this quote from William James.
Recollect by an effort from within. That's the whole idea right there. That struggle you feel when you're trying to remember something, that's not a sign you're failing. That is the process of learning. It's your brain building stronger connections.
So let's officially build out that toolkit. First up, retrieval practice. Like we said, quizzing yourself with flashcards or practice questions. Second, self-explanation. After you learn something, try to explain it out loud, maybe to your dog or a plant. This immediately shows you where the holes in your understanding are. And third, spaced study. Instead of cramming for 8 hours straight, break it up into smaller sessions over a few days. This signals to your brain that this info is important and worth holding on to.
When you start combining these active strategies, the results are, well, they're profound. It's all about making the information truly yours so it sticks around for the long haul. And the payoff for making this shift is just enormous. You're not just building stronger long-term memories. You immediately find out what you don't know so you can focus your efforts. You build a more flexible understanding that you can actually apply to new problems. And, maybe best of all, you make all your future study sessions way faster and way more effective. So when you get right down to it, it's all about a new way of thinking about your mind. Your brain isn't a passive storage device like a photocopier. It's a powerful processor designed to make connections and create meaning. So the question I'll leave you with is this: what will you translate today?